McCleary said you were brutal. I can be. I want you to hurt him. The tagline for this movie is Bring the Hammer. That is an understatement.
State Senator's teenage daughter's been missing all weekend.
Her name is Nina. I've heard of these places. If she's there, I'll get her. Close your eyes.
You were never really here.
Welcome back to Should You Watch This with the Popcorn Priest. Joining me today are recurring guest Colin Taylor. Always happy to have him on the pod. The description for this movie is a traumatized veteran, unafraid of violence, that's for sure, tracks down missing girls for a living. When a job spins out of control, Joe's nightmares overtake him as a conspiracy is uncovered, leading to what may be his death trip or his awakening. Directed by Lynn Ramsey, also written by her as well. Top billed stars were Joaquin Phoenix and some people that I don't remember. So I don't worry about that. Runtime is 1 hour and 29 minutes, rated R. Genre says drama, mystery, and thriller. I don't know if that really makes sense or not, but that's what Rotten Tomatoes is recommending to you. Rating from IMDb is 6.8 out of 10. 89% from Rotten Tomatoes and 64% from the rest of us. Box office haul was $9 million worldwide, which is not very much. And the shooting schedule for this was only like 29 days. So they must not have... They shot it on a shoestring budget and it didn't make very much. That's sad because it was a pretty good movie. Where you can watch this right now is streaming on Amazon Prime if you have that, so go check it out there. And before we get into the popcorn trivia, I'm doing something a little bit different based on some feedback from the listeners, you guys. I want to give you the should or shouldn't you watch this from the get-go, and then you can come back and listen to the rest of this review. So 5 reasons why you should watch this are: number 1, if you're in the mood, and obviously the converse happens here. If any of these don't sit well with you, then you shouldn't see this. Number 1, if you're in the mood for a revenge flick, this is for you. Number 2, if you're a fan of Joaquin Phoenix, this is for sure for you. If you like Taken and wished that it was rated R and more dark and a little sad, this is for you. If you want to support female directors, this is for you. And number 5, if you want to see a movie that was highly praised at Cannes but didn't get much love when it was released, this is for you. And a couple of popcorn trivia bits before we get into the review. Very little violence is shown on screen, but often the aftermath of violence that took place just off screen is shown instead. The director stated that before this movie she had never done anything with a gun, so she had to figure out how to approach violence. Budget constraints didn't allow her to shoot complex action scenes, so this gave birth to the idea to show post-rage aftermath scenes instead of the violence itself. The director confessed she thought it was very risky to use this approach, which I agree with her, because if it didn't work, she wasn't able to go back and reshoot the scenes. Also, received a 7-minute standing ovation at Cannes Film Festival, premiered on May 27, 2017. Lynn Ramsey won the award for Best Screenplay, and Joaquin Phoenix won for Best Actor. It made its North American premiere in the Spotlight category at the Sundance Film Festival in Park City, Utah on January 21st, 2018. The title of the movie is explained in the source material, in which Joe employs his ex-FBI and military skills to leave no trace. In the Ames novel, I don't know if I'm saying that right, Joe uses fake identities, wears surgical gloves, and hides his face from cameras so it would be as if he was never really there. That's where the title comes from, but most of that stuff he does not use in the film. That's where it differs from the novel. And popcorn beefs. I don't really have any beefs with this film, other than it appears very violent, but again, most of the violence happens off screen, so if that idea of thinking about that as you see it happening and then your imagination goes wild, that if that that could be off-putting for some people. All right, let's get into the review of You Were Never Really Here from 2017. Enjoy.
No, he kind of did there.
I kind of did.
That was half a note higher than the.
Welcome back to
the tone
another
before it.
episode of the Popcorn Priest.
The only episode, and not a replacement episode for some non-existent episode.
This is only part 1, not part 2.
It is. We just screened.
Shock and awe.
No. You were never really here. It was Cole's pick. Traumatized veteran, unafraid of violence, that was for sure, tracks down missing girls for a living. When a job spins out of control, Joe's nightmares overtake him as a conspiracy is uncovered, leading to what may be his death trip or his awakening.
I don't like that description. That's not very good. The first half's good.
I don't think it's implied that he tracks down only missing girls.
No, it's implied that he's just kind of like he's like a foot soldier for some shady private investigator.
Kind of like an assistant to an investigator.
Yeah, and does like roughs people up. But a job does go bad. I mean, that's the movie.
It's very, very bad.
That movie goes bad, and that's the driving force for the rest of the film.
For the rest of the evocative images that precede.
I definitely wouldn't have viewed this film had we not picked it. But
Yeah, I don't think I would have either.
it was.
I don't know how I find half the movies that I find.
It's like this art house thriller, like crime thriller. It's real
Yeah.
it's real good.
It was good. Yeah.
It's pretty much Drive, but way more use your imagination kind of film.
No, it has like this foreign film art house feel to it. It's
what I
real
mean.
crazy.
It's Drive, but
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
serious
Yeah,
art
It's
house-
like
art house
Drive,
films.
Equalizer, Death Wish. Like
No, you can't put Death Wish in there.
yeah, you. Can.
I wouldn't put Death Wish in there.
That's the last thing that comes to mind.
No.
Drive comes to
the
mind.
first Death Wish. Have you
No.
ever heard? Have you seen the
We
first
watched it for this.
It's
No, we didn't.
Yeah, we did.
I didn't. Did I pick that?
Yeah, probably.
No, we didn't watch that.
We watched it for this because I would never have seen it otherwise because I think it's dope.
I don't remember watching the first Death Wish.
We watched it for this, I swear.
I don't think so.
Denzel's in it as an extra. Chris noticed. It was in the old house.
I don't remember that. That's a new one.
I'll have to go back in time and see if
Yeah, look up your
screen-
Netflix history.
I remember seeing either Death Wish 3 or 4, where it's pretty much just the whole neighborhood fighting against each other, and they're just blowing each other up, and buildings are crumbling. And
No.
I don't remember the first.
The first one is where he's an architect,
Yeah,
and he gets his like, and he's all traumatized when his wife and kid get murdered. But then
Yeah.
he gets his groove back because he just starts killing random criminals.
Yeah, I don't remember that. It doesn't come to mind.
Jeff Goldblum's in it.
Okay, it's not the same movie. I'm just saying there's some themes.
For Christopher, that reminds him of Death Wish, but for me and Taylor, that did not come to mind.
No,
Well, it's more Death Wish than Equalizer.
I'd say it's
Well, Death Wish, he's trying to get revenge on the people that killed his family, whereas Equalizer, he's just finding people that need help.
an equal.
And he's trying to get things equalized.
Yeah, he's trying to equally level the playing field.
Because of all the bad things he did when he was in the army.
Is that the premise of that show? I've never seen it.
It's
okay.
about 70% of the premise.
That being said,
But back to the original show we watched.
this film is there's some great score.
It's nothing like Death Wish.
It did have a good soundtrack.
Calm down.
I like that soundtrack.
The soundtrack's real good. It's got like this really moody, like
Synth.
But
yeah, synth and beats, and yeah, it's good.
But it's one of those where you have to use your imagination to fill in the blanks
Oh,
because
yeah.
there's a lot of jumping forward in terms of moving the plot along. So
Not a lot of dialogue, a lot of
a lot of visuals over dialogue.
real slow, and you're very much having to piece the plot together as you go, which is fine because the plot itself isn't overly complicated. But
customers also watched Death Wish.
Yeah, but customers
that's
also
a new one though. That doesn't count.
Customers also watched Avengers, so you can't. Based on
I'm
this
just
list.
kidding. Jeez, calm down.
Joaquin's real good in it.
Yeah, Joaquin is very, very good in it.
Real method turn from him, like he does.
His
Seems like a real damaged individual.
Yeah, his body, he did some things to it to make it
He's
weird.
contorting it in some way to make him look like...
Well, I think a lot of it's the scars and stuff they put
Yeah.
on. Because his back, you can see where it looks like he got shot or hit by something.
I
or
know, but it's
shrapnel.
like his whole side of his body's like
because if
arching
you look on his
over.
back,
Yeah, because he had those scars on it.
he's got like a big old, like he caught shrapnel on his back or his shoulder blade or something, so he like slumps, he leans to one side because like
Which
he
is
can't put his arm
crazy.
back.
Real dark story.
Yes.
It's like Taxi Driver. That's what another movie it reminded me of. Like a reordered
I've
Taxi
just-
Driver.
I've
The
seen
second half of
Taxi
Taxi
Driver.
Driver, I would agree with that because it's
Yeah, the first time of Taxi Driver was like him just as a taxi driver. I'm just talking about like the
Yeah.
the
What-
gritty crime stuff that happens towards the end of that.
kind of vigilante style. Yeah, out for justice.
Well,
It's good.
Taylor-
It's 1,000 stars. I was only gonna give it some stars at first because I was like, this is kind of slow moving, but no, I dug it. I liked its slow pace. I liked its moody music. It was good.
Cole.
I give it 3.5 out of 4. It was.
Why do you take a half star away?
Yeah.
Because it's hard to hear what's going on. This is a film you're going to need subtitles to actually kind of hear what they're talking
I
about.
think you
Because
could argue that that's more just the plot not being that clearly presented and you having to piece it together.
well, no, but I mean, even when there was dialogue, it was hard to hear. You're kind of
It's a
like,
problem with a lot of movies, though, when you have like people who are in like some grievous injury trying to say stuff. It's like you want it to be realistic, but you're like
but I mean,
can you
that's,
speak more clearly, sir?
that's what I mean. Everyone's
Can you put the
traumatized.
boom
Like,
mic closer
into the mic,
mouth?
into the mic, sir.
That's what I mean. Everyone's traumatized or dying. So I mean, you're kind of like, what? What did you say?
Or you like Joaquin mumbling because he's this method actor.
It's extremely traumatized.
Yeah.
That's the only. It's kind of hard to hear what's going on. This is a film you're going to need subtitles on if you watch it.
Yeah, I agree. That's
It's a hard movie to
that's-
recommend. I don't think everyone. I think most people wouldn't like it.
You'll know within a half an hour if you can stand it or not. Because if
Yeah.
you get bored, then it's something you might want to shut
It's
it
the
off.
type of movie that I wouldn't like recommend. I mean, it's also like really the really mature subject matter, but
Yeah, for sure.
This was the other one I was going to pick.
It's like the really realistic version of Taken.
yeah.
Yeah, that's a good way to
Yeah,
put
I was
it.
going to say Taken, but it's like way less Hollywood than the movie was.
exactly. Yeah, like this is what
This
it
is
was
a realistic
really.
soldier.
This is kind of like a
realistic
realistic
situation.
Like where everything's terrible and
Yeah. Well, I also give it high marks. Medium bucket of popcorn. I wouldn't give it a gold bucket for reasons that Cole already mentioned, and it would be a select few people that I would say, yeah, you should go see this. You should get this and view it. But it's good.
But I have a good track record of picking out really strange
yeah,
films.
really
that,
bizarre movies.
Yeah.
Did you pick that one, the Scottish Macbeth movie? With,
yeah, that was me. And then
that was a movie none of us could understand.
the Tower or whatever that movie was with Loki.
The really bizarre
That was
world in the
crazy.
tower where they never leave the tower.
One
They never
movie you-
explain why.
One movie you picked that I really liked was that Irish
Oh, 71.
71.
Oh yeah,
That was-
that one.
that one was
Every
very
now and then I
cool.
get lucky.
That one was real rad.
That one, I still remember that one. That was a good show.
Yeah. Well, again, very, very adult themes, very gritty subject matter, but if
If you're in for the mood for some art house crime film,
hit it up for sure.
If you go in knowing that the main weapon used in this movie is a hammer to take people down, if you don't mind that.
It's not a positive ad for
that
ball
whole
peen
scene
hammers.
was, from the security cameras, that was some good stuff. Anyway,
That was
yeah,
some
good movie.
filming.
Yeah. All right. Well, until next time, this is the Popcorn Priest signing off. As always, hit me up on the Twitters if you want to interact with the Great Popcorn Priest. I respond to every tweet. Next week, if you want to get caught up with this, I'm kind of excited about this. It's Upgrade from 2018. If you're a gamer, and I'm a gamer, this is going to be right up your alley. Come join us next week for that review, and thanks for joining us today. We'll see you next time.